Hi, good morning.
Morning, Mandy.
Thanks wanted you to introduce yourself to my audience, please.
Right, so I am an experiential facilitator. Been nearly around 20 years in the industry. Started off with the hospitality sector, but now I do trainings for a wider range of audiences, starting from managers, going up to leadership, and of course, in my current role as a principal consultant with Evolve, we also pick up a lot of leadership journeys. We do outbound trainings, offsites, something that will ensure that teams come together with the sole purpose of getting to know each other, build that level of trust, and together grow and help the organization also grow.
Awesome, right? Good to know this. See, leading a leadership coach and also into team building, I do understand how important it is in today's day to actually help leaders grow for the organization as well as their own self. So I had a question is, in one of the trainings, I heard you mentioning something about, as far as I remember, OER, and something about DPD, which was very interesting, and I saw the audience really happy to learn that. Can you just explain it to me?
Sure. Today, when we look in the industry, one buzzwords, so to say, that are there is every L&D has a challenge with the workforce, and that's around getting ownership and accountability from the teams. But the challenge here is we tend to mix up the terminologies. And the over and bay it stems from the accountability ladder, and this comes from the book, the OZ principle. But there's a very simple and nice way of remembering this whole thing. Very simple, very practical that you can put in your life. So we have, let's assume there is a line, okay, and let's call this a line of success. The one we have certain behaviors that are below the line, and there are certain behaviors that are up. So OER is typically above the line behavior, but BED is below the line. So let's look at what BED is. B stands for blame, E is excuses, and D is denial. One typical example that we take, let's take COVID as the great divide between what actually happened and now. At that time, this was seen as the most acute thing. Denial. Many industries, many professionals just didn't want to accept that something like this would be done hard. We all know what COVID has done to us. It has changed the way the industry works. It has changed the way we work. So D is typically you being in a state of denial. You can mistake continuously, but you're like, mistake, what mistake? I don't know, whatever I'm doing is perfectly right. So that's being in a state of denial, even when people are giving you feedback, but you're not ready to accept it. Excuses. Now, what are the excuses? Typically, of course, all of us are very creative when it comes to that. If I'm late to work, I have an excuse. I have not completed a particular assignment or project, I've got a wonderful excuse for it. Right from my dog has written the assignment to I just couldn't make it, someone was sick. We have seen all of it. The question is, when you're giving an excuse, who are you lying to? Kind of satisfy your own self by giving that kind of excuse. But typically, some people move from that thought process of making excuses out here. Whether they give it to the people external is out of the question. What are they giving out here? So these excuses are a consolation prize out here.
So denial, excuses, and blame. We have identified like these are all negative zones. So we can never perform well if we have these three things in us.
So metaphorically, you're always going to be flat.
I love this. So this is my success, right? I can never get success if I am blaming, if I have excuses, and if I am denying.
Always in a state of denial. So you're always in a state of horizontal, wherein there's no way you can actually stand out for success. Now the beautiful part, and that is OER. This is the above the line behavior. OER, it's ownership, accountability, stability.
Okay, so this is the line which is putting us down. This is the line which is putting us in a success zone.
The behaviors are
So O is
ownership.
A is
accountability,
accountability and R is
responsibility.
makes sense.
Yeah, so when you
Super.
typically a board is what? It's something that is used for rowing the boat.
Correct.
Okay, so it's basically propelling you towards.
Towards your goal,
Yeah,
towards the
goal.
goal
So
of the
yeah.
organization, personal goals. Yeah.
So it's basically pushing you forward.
Yeah.
So now OER, typically both of them are read in the same way, they're read from down. So BED, denial is generally the first stage. Once you accept reality, okay, but now I can't make a fool of myself, so I will give some excuses. And if I can't give an excuse which is valid enough, let's shift it to someone else to keep myself safe. Okay, so there's a little bit of ego protection also going on out here. That which someone else.
Yes.
Now about the diet. So who we are. And this is the most challenging thing because it is difficult to understand what exactly is who we are. Many times we say we want accountability, we want ownership from the employees, we want everything. But let's understand what these three terms mean. A responsibility is typically the job roles that you have been taken for. You have been employed for a particular reason. So you have your responsibilities which is typically given through your job role, your job description. That's your responsibility. Then you have accountability. Now, because you have 10 tasks, you are responsible for these 10 things in your job profile. How does the organization make sure that you are doing your tasks properly and the results that you're supposed to deliver?
Correct.
Someone is supposed to keep a check. So for that, we have accountability. So your manager is typically the one who is holding you accountable through your key. So you have a certain role which is your responsibility. Now you have these KPIs which tell you, okay, this will ensure that you are coming on track. So these are your metrics. Are we moving? So every Monday or Saturday when you have a review meet with your manager, typically he is being accountable. So his accountability is for your actions, but you are making sure that your employee, the manager, is making sure that teammate also is keeping on track. When he means his KPIs, automatically responsibility is of the employee, accountability to ensure that the work is done and it is checked through KPIs. Okay? The next one, now these two can be given by the organization, which means it will come in through your offer letter, your job essence of it. Can ownership come from the organization? The answer is no. Because for ownership to come in, it requires a lot of self-giving.
Yes.
I should want to give it. Okay. So if I see that there's certain responsibility, I'm very clear about my job roles, I'm very clear about what is expected from me, how it can be delivered. I am also aware that in order to get this job done, I have been given a little bit of empowerment.
Yeah.
Which means I don't have to keep asking people,
Correct.
sir, can I
Yeah,
get
I mean, we
clarity?"
don't need to have micromanagers about us.
So I have been empowered to get it done. I know what I have to do. Now I am making sure that I am doing it on my own. That's typically ownership. So for someone who wants to hold ownership, he or she has to take that initiative, has to be proactive. And that will only come in one when that person knows exactly what that person wants. So typically it goes back to, do I know what I want? My goals. What is my purpose of joining this? When I know that, then I give my best. I am ready to take that initiative. I'm ready to ask for clarity if need be to make sure that the job is done. So at the end of it, if I had to give one line for what is ownership, it's typically that me saying, because I am here, the job will be done. That's ownership.
I mean, because I am here, the job will be done. So I take 100% responsibility and ownership.
Yes.
Superb. Superb. Yeah, good learning. I think, yeah, continue.
So that's about it. This is, in short, this is what OR and
BED
is. This is something that we generally talk about in all our trainings because it's so profound of a learning. At the end of it, it is, of course, this line that we see which may not be very clearly seen. But understand this line exists. Okay, and that's the biggest marker between people with successful mindsets and behaviors versus people who are maybe not even aware that they are thinking in a very inappropriate manner.
Very true. Super.
So, bed versus
Super.
own.
So, hey leaders, working professionals and business owners, do you understand what is own and bed? You have to decide now. It's your choice whether you want to be in that own zone or the bed zone. And to be really, really honest, it's always better to go towards the growth area, because that's how it can be a change maker. So thank you very much, Elroy. Thank you for being here and sharing all your knowledge. Thank you so much.
Thank you.